The vision of a new Jerusalem calls down old Jerusalem, which was supposed to be the city of the great king, the city of the temple, the city where God manifested himself to his people. But now it's a new Jerusalem without taint or corruption or being taken over by the Babylonians or anything like that. But it is a profoundly social vision. Do you see? So many of us in the West think of spirituality in highly individualistic terms. But this is the people of God in a social context, a city. I know that in some of our Western literature, the city can be seen as the cesspool of iniquity. But in the Bible, it can be seen both as a sink, a reservoir of evil, and it can be seen as a glorious place of beauty where God lives with his people. In fact, some people have, tongue-in-cheek, call the book of Revelation a tale of two cities. Because in this book, you have set out Babylon with all of its symbolism, and the New Jerusalem with all of its symbolism. And then it changes again. Coming down out of heaven, it's a city finally brought about by God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. You change it again. The city is now a bride. If any of you young chaps are about to get married, I strongly urge you not to say to your wife on the first night, "Oh, you're such a lovely city," or "You remind me of a big city," or any such thing. Because the aim here is not, typical of apocalyptic literature, to confuse the two metaphors, but to leap from one to the other. For again and again and again, God is presented in the Old Testament as the kind of bridegroom of his people. And it comes along in the New Testament similarly. Christ is the fiancé, and the church is his fiancé waiting for the final consummation, their final union, the marriage supper of the Lamb. It's a spectacular way of saying, in effect, the joy, the intimacy, the pleasure, the knitting together of soul and mind and heart and body, which we best know in our small corner, in a well-ordered marriage, is only an indication of the kind of intimacy and joy when the church is united with Christ forever. The marriage supper of the Lamb. That's language that is used a little farther on in the same chapter.